Oh boy, look at these doctors, scholars, and engineers.
Mega supporters invaded our
What is
HBCU.
going on over here? You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge.
Yeah, y'all. We was kings, and we be creating knowledge, y'all. Okay. All of this as the tolerant left really isn't that tolerant. Because, of course, we got more footage from this particular event that just unfolded into madness after, once again, police officers failed to do their job. As it's pretty clear here, the time for conversation is over, as we just got new details from Kash Patel that highlights how yesterday's Dallas ICE shooter was a Charlie Kirk assassin copycat. What is going on here? Of course, we are seeing something that I warned about, something that I said would escalate, something that is probably going to escalate more from here, as the details that we're finding out about this lunatic who self-exited are pretty disturbing, to say the least here, but they do highlight, especially with the latest information given to us by Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, how American politics is moving closer and closer to violence, which I think we should be doing everything in our power in order to avoid. Will it work, though? What will happen from here? Well, listen, there's some people that are trying to create terror, trying to create fear. Will we let them win? I don't think we can, because that means that they will then terrorize us more. What's the proper, appropriate answer and response here? I'm going to tell you, in my own personal opinion, in this video, and a lot more, all on this independent media organization. If you appreciate these type of very tough, difficult conversations, subscribe. Click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us. Now, Tim Pool just came out and said, breaking, it appears the ICE shooter was a Charlie Kirk copycat, retweeting Kash Patel of the FBI, as new details are coming out showing how this Dallas gunman used apps that tracked ICE agents and had a handwritten note threatening real terror. Now, I don't know about you, but there was a big debate as soon as this event happened with a lot of people saying he was right-wing. And I'm like, goodness gracious. Now, again, some right-wing commentators are like, left-wing. And it did make sense because he's attacking a kind of cultural icon of the right that the right sees very important to them, that the left has been viciously attacking, sending bomb threats. There was another gunman that showed up to another ICE facility trying to hurt people there a couple weeks ago. Also in Texas, there's been multiple attacks, multiple harassment campaigns, multiple doxing campaigns. This is the main type of battering ram that the left has been using against this institution. So when this institution's attacked and gets fired at through sniper fire, I think it's pretty clear what the intentions of this attack are. But automatically, people were like, "Oh no, it's a right-wing guy attacking right-wing people and right-wing institutions." And I'm like, okay, all right, get off the internet, all right? Try to go for a walk, try to get some fresh air, because like you've just lost the plot, and many people have lost the plot, and they're only going to lose the plot more. As now, yesterday, during the middle of this debate, we had the Vice President of the United States come out and says, hey, there's other evidence that's going to come out that's going to highlight how this guy was motivated by political violence. And, of course, now we have the details. Kash Patel says, FBI Dallas and FBI headquarters have been working 24/7 to seize devices, exploit data, and process writings obtained on location and its subject's person, residence, bedroom. This FBI is committed to providing timely updates as promised. Quote, the perp downloaded a document titled Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, containing a list of DHS facilities. He conducted multiple searches of ballistics and the Charlie Kirk shot video. Now, a lot of people were doing that, but the ballistics aspect of it was kind of interesting here. Between August 19th and August 24th, he searched apps that tracked the presence of ICE agents. One of the handwritten notes recovered read, hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think. Is there a sniper with AP rounds on the roof? Question mark. Yeah, That's pretty. I mean, that's the cause of a lot of this type of insane violence. Further, accumulated evidence to the point indicates a high degree of pre-attack planning. The FBI will provide further updates when available. Myron Gaines says, as a former DHS special agent, one thing I will cash credit for is that he is the most transparent, or at least he tries, FBI director in American history. Well, at least we're getting some of the information because, again, we're living in such a new day and age where, like, listen, the stuff that used to work before doesn't work now. You know why? Because we have a massive type of political violence in this country that is extremely contagious, that is extremely dangerous. And when these attacks happen, we need to know exactly what happens to them, because if we obfuscate, if we leave it up to interpretation, people are automatically going to say, oh, it's all right-wingers. The media is going to be like, oh, it's a right-winger. You have to provide counter-evidence so this information isn't weaponized by people who believe that they are under direct threat and are living in a very kind of delusional, crazy world that is make-believe land that has been curated and created by big tech social media companies, the establishment, the corporate media, as now even Don Lemon is getting out really radicalized, crazy voices out there that are pretty wild, as even Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is warning about the radicalization and massive amounts of political violence that are only going to get worse. Now, before playing this Donald Trump clip and going into all these other clips and these escalatory kind of markers that we're all on a part of, before we do that, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We got a great shop. We got a lot of great individual supplements that you could buy individually. They're pretty awesome. We have our shirts here. We also have Take Calm. We also have tees. But here we have our bundles. Our bundles are a perfect way for you to save a bunch of money. And we made it easy for you, especially if you're dealing with a birthday or an anniversary or like situationship anniversary. That's what young kids are having now, I guess. Listen, if you're dealing with anything where you need to give someone a gift, we got the For Him bundle and we got the For Her bundle. For Her has the glitter paper, has pink paper, and we have a big sticker on the back of it, right? You could just take off the shipping label, right? And the box still looks pretty, it's pretty box, especially for the herd. And it has to and from, right? And you get to, of course, just give someone a gift. You don't have to do any of the work. You don't have to do any of the kind of due diligence. It looks like a very nice, pricey, expensive gift when it's not that expensive. And you give someone the gift of health, specifically when it comes to the For Her bundle, where we got some creatine, we got some magnesium glycinate, we got some magnesium mist, we got some vitamin C, we got some good stuff all available here for the overall health, longevity. And you got to be like, hey, lady, you know, the vitamin C, that's really good for your collagen production. Magnesium mist, you just put that on your ragged hooves at the end of the night, and you'll learn how to relax and sleep a little bit more. Your nervous system's probably fried because you probably drink too much and douche fluid and are on social media too much. So we're going to give you some magnesium glycinate in order to help you sleep. And then because your cognitive functions are all defunct because of the dopamine kind of social media destroying type of mental damaging effects of all the horrible choices and decisions you made, we're going to make sure your brain actually works cognitively in a good way, and we're going to give you some creatine. Boom! Bada bing, bada boom, Becky! Happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy situationship. Boom, For Her gift bundle. You save a bunch of money too, and you give people the gift of health, which is awesome. You get 4 incredible supplements, and I cannot recommend this enough for the people out there. Now, let's get back to the topic of discussion, as I thought it was very eye-opening for the President of the United States to just announce this regarding everything that's happening here. As Tim Pool literally tweeted today, oh, am I going to wake up tomorrow morning and there's going to be another left-wing radicalized, violent, massive attack on innocent people? Well, this is what Donald Trump had to say.
Who do you hold responsible for the uptick in left-wing violence in the country?
Radical left rhetoric. The radical left is causing the problem. They're out of control. They're saying things, and they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're very low IQ people, actually. But the radical left is causing this problem, not the right, the radical left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean,
It's going to get worse. It's going to go back on them. We hope not, because then again, the tit for tat escalatory. So far, the right hasn't responded. Now, if there ever is a right-wing event, you could bet your bottom dollar the mainstream media is going to be running with it 24/7. They're going to be interviewing the families, the loved ones, the neighbors. They're going to be hyperventilating like, and they're going to make their new kind of George Floyd type of situation scenario that last time they rioted, took the lives of 3 dozen people and burnt down many cities all across the United States in response to, while the former vice president of the United States and then a major politician was literally fundraising for the bail funds for the people who burned down cities to get away and be bailed out for the horrible crimes that they committed against innocent people. That's what happened last time, right? And you could bet the left is just like, oh, you could bet there's like pundits, Jimmy Carville, who says Trump's going to arrest people, black people, just for being black, which is insane and also hyperbolic and also extremely of an emotional, manipulative type of take here. I bet he's like, I bet he's praying to like Moloch and Lucifer, like, please, give me one right winger to hurt someone, please. And they're not doing it. Okay? Because if we did, mainstream media, nonstop, 24/7 news coverage, breaking news. It was interesting to see CNN not do the breaking news when there was literally a Charlie Kirk copycat using a sniper rifle shooting at an ICE facility. They didn't break that. You know what they talked about? Someone got fired for criticizing Charlie Kirk. And I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have a real discussion. This is why we can't have any kind of semblance of government here. This is why people are saying these sides can't live together. They can't be together with each other. There's no way that we will see this de-escalate because, again, even as Donald Trump says, yeah, it's going to get worse and it's going to go back on them. What does that mean? Does that mean action from the feds? Does that mean action from other right-wingers? I mean, that's how usually things play out, tit for tat. Pendulum swing, right? So, listen, this is why I always say violence is not the answer. If you know anyone who's committing violence, stop them immediately and contact the proper authorities because violence only begets more violence. Now, it's also important to note here, especially if someone's on the right, stop them immediately because that's not going to do anyone any favors. That's going to allow the left to kind of switch everything on you. Do not allow that to happen, okay? Be a little bit more vigilant. Contact your friends that, you haven't contacted in a while that might not be doing the best. Contact them. Be like, you doing all right, bro? How you doing? Ever since the Charlie Kirk thing, we're all contacting each other. I'm contacting people. People are contacting me. I'm like, well, how you doing, man? Everything all right? You doing good? All right, cool, man. I got you. What you need? That's what it means to be a part of a community. It's the lack of community, lack of relationships that creates a lot of the radicalization. So I think we all need to do our part to try to dial things down.
Things happen when they play these games. And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this.
We'll give you a clue. The right is a lot tougher. What does he mean by that? Well, it's pretty clear. Right-wing people, scientific studies, more testosterone, more people in the military, more people in the police, more capable of being able to commit violence in a more of an effective fashion. But they're choosing not to. Good. We can't allow us to be brought into this nonsense, this insanity. We cannot allow this to escalate. We cannot allow this trajectory to keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier.
They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized because it won't be good for the left.
They better not get them energized. Listen, for every action, there's a counter-reaction. That's the trap that we're all falling for here. That's very dangerous, that we should be doing everything in our power to try to avoid.
And I don't want to see that happen either. I'm the president of all the people.
Now, it's very good that the president is saying, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it either. But it starts with de-radicalization. It starts with having an open, honest conversation. It starts with getting rid of all the deplatforming, demonetizations, and being able to kind of sit down as grown adults and talk to each other, just like these people tried when they literally were attacked and harassed, and you had black students literally throwing stuff at them, screaming at them, and saying, no, we want the police to arrest them. The police here in this video, by the way, saw people steal signs from these guys, and they didn't interact. And then the crowd was like, oh, They're on our side. Oh, we're able to get away with stealing their stuff and hurting them, and the cops aren't doing anything. We could do more, right? If the cops would have put an end to this from the very beginning, the cops are just standing by, right? And you see someone steal the sign, right? And if the protesters would have been shown like the cops are right here, right? Look what happens. Yo. You better not. You better not. What? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you better not what? Try to get your property after someone stole it? Like, and look at the cop here. The cop's like, okay, buddy. Okay. And then they first just go, okay, guys, separate. It's like, you just saw someone steal someone's property. Deal with it. The fact that you're not dealing with it shows this crowd, oh, we get to do what we want. Yeah. Cops are on our side. Yeah, we get to throw stuff. We get to steal stuff. Yeah. We're going to do what we want. And then, of course, it keeps escalating, and the cops are just kind of twiddling their thumbs. And look, another person just steals something. And the cop's like, oh, whoopsie daisy, someone stole. And then the cop's just watching nearby. It's like, okay, this is a ridiculous type of scenario. And clearly the left is showing itself as not willing to have the debate, not willing to have the conversation. So where do you kind of go from here, especially when they're being more and more radicalized than ever? Here's the last statement by Donald Trump, which I think is important.
But the radical left is causing this. Radical left Democrats are causing this problem, and it gets worse. It gets worse, and it'll be a point where other people won't take it anymore, and that will not be good for the radical left, and we don't want that.
Yeah. Well, we don't want it to be bad for anybody else. Now, again, the left is trying to strike terror. Will we allow them to set up a chilling effect, scare us, intimidate us, and stop us from doing and existing? Well, that's going to be a very difficult test and a very difficult road to traverse for the Trump administration to deal with these insane type of crazy events that are only getting more insane and more crazier. And again, quote, hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror. That's just crazy. Don Lemon was interviewing DC residents, and one of them was like, oh yeah, all these marginalized communities need to get armed, especially trans women. They're praying for blood on the right. And it's like, you're just saying this like unironically.
I think that as things are getting more dangerous, marginalized communities need to get armed.
Yeah, we need to, what? Like, they're the ones who are armed and taking shots at the right. Like, no, we need more arms, more. We're like, you would think that the left would be like, okay, this is the time to put down the arms, guys. Stop shooting at them. Like, can we stop killing other people for their political thoughts and ideas? Can we not do that? No. It's like, no, we need to get armed more. What?
Trans women in particular.
Trans women in particular who are shot up on hormones, right? Who are acting a fool and crazy and wild. That really creates a scenario and situation where it's just absolutely insane.
I think that it's just so dangerous out here right now. I mean,
where in Washington, D.C., where it's safer than ever, where the criminals and thugs are actually being cleaned off and taken off of the streets, dangerous more than ever. It's dangerous because you guys are escalating, right? The right's telling people, calm down, relax, don't respond to them. But there's a portion of the right that's getting shot at that's saying, I'm not going to get shot at.
I know that D.C. is just a congregation of high school class presidents, but if you go out in Baltimore...
What? Oh, my God.
You go out in Baltimore, you see...
School president.
Science everywhere says armed trans women, and it's because they're the most vulnerable people right now.
To themselves.
Oh, I can imagine. They're praying for blood on the right wing. I think
they're
that...
praying for blood on the right wing. They need to get armed. Okay? That's the mindset of a lot of these people that are getting fake news 24/7. Tim Pool also points this out. If you're wondering why leftists just opened fire on an ICE vehicle, here's Homeland Security fixing ABC News' smear attack. Now, this is the official Homeland Security website. NBC News, ICE held 5-year-old autistic girl in Massachusetts to pressure father to surrender, family says. And ICE is like, okay, you're trying to make us look really bad here. That's not what actually happened here. They said our ICE agents never used the 5-year-old girl as bait. The criminal illegal alien target of this operation with previous arrests for domestic abuse, strangulation, and vandalizing property abandoned his own child in a car Edward Hip Meja, a criminal illegal alien from Guatemala, ignored law enforcement emergency lights and darted inside his house, abandoning his 5-year-old daughter in the car. Sick, twisted, nasty human being. Officers helped rescue the child and called local police to report the abandonment. Stop the smears, stop the lies. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's the type of insanity that they're under. There's also, in Georgetown, specific signs going up with the same slogans that were etched specifically on the bullets that were being targeted and shot at Charlie Kirk. One of them said, "Hey, fascist, catch." Now, they're using that same slogan to recruit more people, which is absolutely wild. Absolutely crazy. Is there going to be an off-ramp? No. Listen, the government needs to do a tough job where they respect people's rights and privacies, the little few that we still have remaining, if we even have any remaining, but they need to do targeted type of surveillance programs on troubled individuals and prevent them from stopping this, right? I think that's the best way to kind of approach this. That's the best way to deal with this. That's the best way to kind of stop this. And maybe if they're successful, which I don't think they will, because I think they're highly incompetent now more than ever, is just wild. It's just absolutely insane, and I think it's only going to get more insane from here. Anyway, let's pray for peace. There's no off ramp here. So yeah, there's that. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.